What's up, guys? Welcome to Knockers Out the Bottom. I'm your host, Jay Mill. Jay Miller, if you like. So let's get into it. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get into it. So today we're going to take a look at the Dallas Cowboys defense against the uh, Chicago Bears offense. So we're going to take a look at what we might think Chicago might do, how they might attack Dallas, and the types of things Dallas needs to do in order to have a successful game plan this week. So let's start with this one here. So here we have the Giants lined up against the Cowboys, right? They have their two wide receivers up top here, a couple running backs back here, and another receiver down here. The Cowboys match it with nickel personnel, right? They got their two deep safeties, quarter here, a couple linebackers, and their slot guy, right? So let's take a look at how the play goes. So as the play is going, you see the linebacker creeping up a little bit, but this play has no motion. Everything's pretty static. So Russell Wilson kind of getting to the top of his drop here. So this time the Cowboys do a good job in coverage, right? They got a guy covered here. They have a guy covered here. Safeties are looking pretty good here. There's a guy over there out in the flat. But what made the biggest difference on this play, right, is this guy right here. That's Sam Williams. He's pushing the pocket. So as you see, Russell Wilson, first his eyes were up, right? He's dropping back. Now his eyes are down. And then when his eyes go down and go back up, not in the right place, he heaves the ball. Donovan Wilson actually stays on top of the route this time and ends up with an interception, which was the hugest play for the defense in that game to get us to overtime. So let's take a look at the Chicago Bears. So the Bears, right, they come out. This is late in the game where they're trailing. Same kind of situation, right? Giants were late in the game. Game was tied. They weren't trailing, but late in the game. So on this play, as you see, it's an empty formation, right? They got five receivers out there. They got a tight end here. And Detroit matches it with four down. Looks like two linebackers. One's kind of over covering. And then you got a slot guy here, two on the top, maybe even a dime. Safety kind of chilling down and one safety higher, right? So Ben Johnson, of course, is notorious for sending motion, using motion on his plays. He does it here. But nothing crazy going on. Detroit, communicates a little bit, and now they have a more condensed formation on Chicago side. So Caleb Williams takes the snap, right? You see him going down. What happens? This guy comes free. Very similar situation, right? Pressure. Now, the pressure didn't sack him, just like we didn't sack Russell Wilson, but what happens? He gets out, he makes a bad decision. That bad decision ends up being an overthrow, and it ends up being an interception. Very similar to Russell Wilson, right? His decision ended up being an overthrow and ended up being an interception. I'm not saying that to say the Cowboys are going to be perfect this game, generating pressure on Caleb Williams. They do have 4 sacks. Already this season. One was a team sack on a Russell Wilson bad pass. But still, 4 sacks on the season. They're not a great pass rush, but I don't think we should be jumping to any conclusions right away. So if we're able to get pressure, and it doesn't have to be consistent all the time pressure, but pressure that's timely, we should have no problem defending the Chicago Bears. So another play I want to take a look at here is you have Dallas Goedert, right? So Dallas Goedert is going to get the completion on this play, but the Eagles come out in a 2 wide receivers on the top, one there. Looks like another tight end or maybe an H-back down there, and then a running back in the backfield. So Dallas matches it like they've been matching, right? They have a nickel personnel, similar to what they did against the Giants, but there's a big difference in how they execute it. So Jalen Hurts, right? Boom. He gets to the top of his drop. As you can see, locked up here. This is really good. That guy's where he's supposed to be. This guy's over the top of this guy, and you have some linebackers here underneath to help take that stuff away. So typically against the Giants, we weren't, and now the coverage is still sticky, right? Even when the completion comes. So if he would have held it to try to get something downfield, that would have never happened. As you see, by the time he throws the completion, pocket's already collapsed. So he had to get rid of that ball. So Goddard gets a here, and then what do? We rally and we tackle, right? That's the kind of defense that Matt Eberflus is trying to install in the Cowboys. And there was no reason why they couldn't do that last week. I don't know what the deal was with the way some of the guys were kind of standing flat footed and looking in the backfield. They know better than that. So let's take a look at another play. All right. So this is what the Chicago Bears can do, when things are off script or not going exactly how they're supposed to go. You have to be very careful with Caleb Williams. He's not a bad quarterback at all. I know some people talk about him that way, but he's a decent quarterback, and he's only going to get better the more he plays. So the Bears again send some motion here, right? Just have the running back go from the right to the left. All right, so nothing crazy there. Defense doesn't really react to it much at all. So Caleb Williams now is probably pretty much going to stick with his call. He does seem to be sticking with his call there. Gets the ball off. So as you see right here, initially the pocket's pretty clean in front of him. He even has an alleyway if he wants to step up here and make a throw. But right now, nothing's really coming open. Some of these routes are taking a long time to develop, right? But the thing that doesn't take too long, actually it takes long, but it comes open, is that tight end there. So he had a clean pocket, so there's no pass rush on him, right? So that's the first problem we got to make sure that we solve. And then secondly, he hangs in there while his guy comes open and makes a great throw. A great throw. Komet makes a great catch. And it's right up the seam, the same place the Cowboys were having trouble with. So we kind of want to make sure that we're playing this more as if we were playing the Dallas Goedert role, right? You got hands on guys at the line of scrimmage. You made sure that guys didn't get to just run free. And that's what you should be doing here when you're playing against the Bears, because if they don't do that, people like Komet, people like DJ Moore, people like Roma Dunze, they will get you. So just want to take a look here at another thing the Cowboys have been doing a little bit better at, and that's playing run defense. I know Chicago wasn't known for necessarily running the ball, but we still need to play sound run defense if we're going to come out with a win in this game. We don't want to give them any hope, not against us, right? So the Eagles come out, and they have two tight ends, wide receiver tight to the line of scrimmage. They have A.J. Dillon in the backfield, pistol formation. So you have the Cowboys matching it with a pretty loaded box, right? You got Donovan Wilson down at the line of scrimmage. You have one of your better linebackers, Maris Leaf, out of the game, James Houston. So you're matching it with 8 guys in the box, right? So, boom, on a snap of the play, the first thing you notice is that Kenny Clark has defeated his block. He's holding him up because he wants to see, okay, do I have to continue to go inside, outside? Solomon Thomas has also defeated his block. And actually the defensive end here, whose number is turned so I can't 100% see it, that's going to be Marshawn Nealon. He's defeated his block. So already the running back is in trouble. So these guys get kind of caught up in the mud, but Kenny Clark and Donovan Wilson, starting off the formation, right? Starting off the formation, Donovan Wilson is exactly where we want him to be. And what happens? As the play gets rolling here, he ends up where we want him to be. This is the place where we need Donald playing. Down here near the line of scrimmage, Kenny Clark goes high, Donald goes low, and it's a no gain. It's a run stuff for the Cowboys. That's what they need to do. But the other thing they also need to do, if we're going to be fair about it, and as you see here, I'm showing you a shotgun and I'm showing you a Y formation, which we normally only do when we're looking at passing plays, right? But this is what we want to be careful of right here, right? So we're watching Caleb Williams, right? And we're thinking, hey, this guy is a pretty good passer. He can throw the ball pretty well, get him under pressure, get him on the ground. But the other thing that Caleb Williams does is he runs very well. Out of the rushing touchdowns, the 10-plus rushes that the Bears have, he has the most on the team. He has more than the running back, and he has more than the backup running back. He is their leading 10-plus rusher. So he already has the wills and the know-how to get out of the pocket. So the Cowboys are going to need to be rushing with some lane integrity. So you see here, the Vikings are getting up the field, right? And this guy has him dead to rights. Dead to rights. Caleb pump fake is what probably bought him the most time. He gets outside of the pocket. It looks like this guy is almost there, but now the angles are all off because the guy is not slow. He's destroying angles. And look at all that field. So that's what we got to watch. Jalen Hurts did this to us a lot. Justin Fields, who I was about to say, did this to us a lot years ago as well. But Caleb Williams is a little bit more talented of a passer than Justin Fields was at the time. So, he might have a little bit more of that combo to give us a little bit more problems when it comes to making sure that we don't allow the quarterback to hurt us like he did in week 1. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit me up on Twitter at jmillerIYL. You can also hit me up at knockersoutthebottom@outlook.com, knockersoutthebottom@gmail.com. Any comments, questions you have, I'll take them here. I'll take them via email, take them via Twitter. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love you guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, I'm your host, J Bill. J Bill, if you like. This has been Knockers at the Bottom. Peace.